Well, hello there trainers, once again KuroBlitz here, welcome back to another video on the channel. We are going to continue with another episode of the records for my Laqua library. Continuing on now to New Horizons to see where the series, left off after their little hiatus, after, before the Levincia arc. Not really the Levincia arc, like the Levincia crisis, if anything. So let's take a look, let's see what's this. I was writing, like Ash, right? Teams, I guess. Crazy. Oh, and then I was doing something like, like some teams for Go, I guess. Like different Pokemon for different. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is a weird start. Dude, this would have been so cool if Ash caught Farfetch first and Riolu last, and he would have like 5 Mons and the 6th one was always a rotation reserve, and Riolu would be like his last Mon caught. What's this for Chloe? Having a team that represents biology and evolution. Oh yeah, with stones and regional variants, and Salamence always changes body shape with its evolution. Yo, Ash versus Go. This would have been in an AU. The guy who used Greedent, Berserk, and Shiny Orbital. Man, Orbital is so cool for him. If the champions were Fate classes. Archer, Berserker, Saber, Lancer, Caster, Rider, Assassin. Yeah, Leon being the Assassin, bro. Yo, this would be... Yo, I don't know what I was cooking, but I was gonna read it later. Like, bro, like having a second Operation Tempest. Yeah, biggest lie ever told, man. Journeys in Galar? Kalos, a place where Pokemon of different types exist. Kalos, where Mega Evolution tests the bond between trainer and Pokemon. Kalos, literally friends, like fishing in and bread, monorails and Comarine, PR videos. Like, dude, Silent should have gone to Kalos, bro. Like how Brock went to Hoenn, Silent should have gone to Kalos. I would have not minded if Silent was in Kalos. The same with Iris in a way. Bro, people hate Max with no need. The BW trio. Yeah, all of them getting 2 Mons and all of them like... It's kind of crazy that a lot of the Mons, it feels like a Team Plasma plot was gonna happen. I mean, it was, we know that, but it's like, it really feels like a lot of the Mons that they meet were like liberated Pokemon, because like Snivy abandoned her trainer, Emolga is super powerful, so is Palpitoad for no reason, Big Tepig was abandoned, like why is Roggenrola, like Roggenrola should have been a shiny and be like a Reject, and Crocodile has Shades, bro. They should have all been abandoned Pokemon. For a more benefit Team Plasma arc. Bro. Poor Galar, bro. Yo, Bead is not even Horizons. What was I thinking? Oh, that's because we got the reveal of Kabu, bro. We get the 3rd gym leader of Paldea and the 3rd gym leader of Galar, bro. It's kind of insane. Can you imagine this for Anipoke? Oh, yeah. X and Y would get, 1 more year, bro. I would have loved another. I would have loved another year of the Kalos region if we got like a Z game and Southern Kalos. The thing is, I don't know what they would do if they. I don't even know if they would make South Kalos, and what would Ash and the others do after the league? Right? It's like, what would you do after Sinnoh? Bro, they never came back from the war. It is cool, the classic era Ash, he battles the Donphan in the first and in the final movie. And with classic era, I mean, the Brock times. Yo, all of these Mons are Ash coded and they could easily be freed Pokemon. Yeah, like, bro, the last time we see Georgia and Burgundy, it's them losing and they never return for Season 16. They are absent for the final year of BW, it's crazy. Yeah, it's not Juliana. Like, Violet Lang is Florian, it's not Juliana. Like, Scarlet Coito is Juliana. But it looked androgynous enough. The king of the mechanics, bro. Charizard is so cool. All the Kanto starters are cool, bro. He has Itachi's VA in English. Bro. Charizard Dark Terra, it's... Oh my goodness. Yeah, this was not good. Cross-promoting TCG was cool. And using Teleport, that's like a Gen 1 TM. Kinda crazy. It probably was BM teleporting him, but you know, it would be cool if Magneton, now Magnezone also. Bro, Wattrel was so cute, and now it's so useless. Freed would cook with this team, bro. I love Frostmoth. I was giving a guide on how to make, you know, what ifs and rewrites. Yo, they really forgot about Ash. We need the Psychic Urshifu, bro, for the Fusion Strike style. Levincia looks okay. I do appreciate that. Bro, I was doing another Journeys rewrite. A Gita and a Mona video for Ash. The implementation of Gibeon in Horizons, it's mesmerizing. Wouldn't be surprised if he was an AI like Sada and Turo. No, he's just an old man in a chair, like Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget. Or Giovanni in 13 Rocket, but they're not old. For what we know, Arven's story could be about him being... Could just be about him being healing Mabostif. Yeah, like if they did the Arven thing similar to Corrin and Lucario. Yeah, but they could have done it. Way better than the season, way better than Arc 2 filler. Yeah, Arven could meet these fucks. And Murdoch. Literally that let the kid cook, bro. I was doing pitches for Horizons Zeus 4 months within. Granted, I was doing Journey Zeus like 7 weeks within, bro. Do I like Pokemon? Do I like Pokemon? Rayquaza is semi-turret. Nope. Would all of the Hero be part normal? Nope. If anything, Rayquaza's type overlaps with Gouging Fire and Moltres. Yeah, this should have been the case. Iris should have been the gym leader, and after losing to Champion Ash, she would now aim for greater heights, and her Ultra Class matches would be the Elite Four and older, bro. Yeah, why isn't Halan an Elite Four, bro? Why isn't Halan an Elite Four member? This is crazy. I hate this game synergy. Yeah, this did not happen. This did not happen. They went like a whole arc in Paldea instead of visiting Paldea by sections. Galar, Kanto, Galar, Shoto, Darkest Day, Hoenn. This is how you travel the world. You travel in batches, not in episode yes, episode no bullshit. Chloe was once a gym challenger. Yo, that would actually be cool if Chloe was like a former gym challenger, bro. Yeah, this would have been cool. Yeah, bro. Why is Noctowl styling on the Gyarados in this opening, bro? The other image is a draft of the prize fight. Yeah, like, bro, why did Ash send out the Phanpy against the Dugong? And Phanpy was 7 days old, bro. Like, 7 episodes old. It's like a week. It was a week old. Honestly, though, these 5 and Pikachu going against Lance, they would be solid, bro. They would be so... I would love this. I would love this. Yeah, Larvitar. Get out of here, Larvitar. Where's Muck? Where is Muck? Yeah, this is kind of crazy, right? September 9, 99. Bro, Ash. Jesus. Yeah. They are cool. I like them. I like them. Yeah, do a 5v5, man. Do a 5... Yo, they didn't do... Yo, a horde battle? With people? Dude. Dude. Would have been so cool. Horizons tackled... Yeah, they tackled the East Province, so every time they should return, they should, you know, go to a different province. Make Paldea the rendezvous point for the RVT travels. Yeah, again, you see, the Terra Leak did expose this, that Freed was a former explorer, right? At least in the drafts of the show. Which is why early on, they know who the explorers are, and the explorers know who the Voltaclers are. And even the Charizard being Dark Terra, bro. It's like, man... Yeah, and Freed... And it's like... And Freed knew of Roy's grandpa, and it's like, oh yeah, I come to this island from time to time to investigate. What exactly? Bro, you can feel the early conceptions of Freed being a bad guy. Well, not really a bad guy, he was doing this to, you know, save or get hints on his lost brother, who we never really met. Yeah, Lucius's name is not on, you know, the Lost Book. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Luca is like in her 30s and, you know, Freed is in his 20s. I think we got like Freed's age. But Freed is like probably 25, like Steven Stone, right? And, you know, Luca is in her 30s. Because it's like, if you're studying and you're like 16 and your teacher is like a decade older because they already went to college and got a degree to teach you, they will be, you know, 26, 27, right? And I feel like, so you gotta think about this for a moment. The Lockway events were like a year ago, right? They were probably the same age and dated at one point. No, they didn't. The point of the matter is, he got about to get schooled. Yeah, this was cool. The thing is that Horizons, right? Listel and Lucius met over 100 years ago, and 100 years ago Lucius went, and, you know, Ristel had Layla, right? And the thing is, we know that Diana traveled for 30 years, and then she stopped, and then she became a mother. So Diana became a mother at age 40. And being pregnant didn't stop her from adventuring. She stopped, then she became a mother. So she became a mother at, you know, 40, and Liko is 13. So it would be 53 years. The years that you would have remaining, they would be 47. Which means that, you know, Layla probably was a mom at, you know, let's say, you have like 47 years, right? Let's say that, you know, Layla was a mom at 22, right? And this means that, you know, Liko's mom would be a mom at 27, and, you know, no, she would be a mom at 25, right? Because it makes 47, and with 53 makes 100. So they would all be moms in their 20s, except Diana, who was a mom, you know, in her 40s. And then Gibeon probably was, you know, a father in his, you know, 70s or 80s, right? I don't know who gold digged him, but some bitch did. And then poor Maria died. His daughter. So with all of this, it kind of could mean that, you know, Luca is like 38. You know? Maybe. It's doing some more videos. It's not Galarian Zapdos, bro. It was Moltres. We were one bird short. Yo, can you imagine though? Could you imagine, guys? A shiny Coyote. Yo, and even Larry was in the flashback. And I was doing more videos. Yo, Gary with Poltergeist will be funny. Yeah, why is the wild area so Yo, the Voltaclers are so lucky the wild area has no Pokemon in the anime. Because if it did, the airship would get stomped by a Gigantamax Pokemon. Yeah, like, bro, why is Cynthia and every champion using their game teams for familiarity's sake? This is a living, breathing world. Use other Pokemon teams, please. If I use the Johto... Okay, yeah, this was me trying to put the Johto team. When Ash beats Paul in the dub, and when he beats Gary, also. Wakaba was a good character. I like her, she's cool. Bro, could you imagine if we also had future paradoxes? And all of the explorers had Paradox Pokemon. This would have been absolutely crazy. This happened, Screamtail was given to Sango. I was 1/12 right. So that's like what, 8%? Yo, it would be cool if the battle was like that. Jesus Christ, what's this? The Ash, Go, and Chloe references. People call themselves trainers, but they can do different things. Some want to be the strongest, some want to discover brand new Pokemon, and others just, you know, others just want to feel right in terms of discovering what it is. Honestly, preach, King, preach. Buddy Shibari, bro. Bro, how do you know what a Silvally is? Man. Yeah, the Zuko arc, man. This kind of felt like the rising of Anne's Castle. Yeah, bro, it kind of should have been, bro. It kind of should have been. Cart and Art Home, one in Art Home. Yo, Chimchar, good on you, man. Good on you, man. It is cool. This is cool. I thought that was Zapdos. Like, Moltres always felt to me like, yeah, in the Tower of Darkness in the Isle of Armor. But it's cool. Placing him in the mines as a homage to Gen 1 being in Victory Road. And also because Roy is from the Sevi Islands. That's where the Cantonian Moltres is on Mount Amber. This was fine. This was nice. Because, like, the Galarian Mines is before the first gym, and Victory Road is after the 8th. Three dual type, 3 monotype amounts for 9 types each, bro. They are doing the 18 type shit now. Yo, Sludge Bomb in movie 9 is bonkers. Look at this. Pow! I feel like the Terra types are hinting at Lucius's Pokemon. No. And I was even thinking about like the reveal of the Pokemon. They reveal Arboliva in 11, Moltres in 22, and I was like, are we going for 33, 44, 55? They meet Rayquaza in 66 again, and do they go to the Paradise in 77? Here's the thing, right? Horizons. I like Horizons, right? But it shows the show has flaws and duds because all Pokemon shows have it, and the staff had the daunting task of now having to write something without Ash. And they are being very creative and very imaginative, but also, you know, making sure that they are doing the footwork necessary for the Gen 10 anime to be amazing, right? The thing is, you can see issues in the pacing, right? Season 1, right? Season 1, it's amazing, very cinematic. Season 2, they slow down and they have Ash era filler in it, which is why the ratings dropped. And then Season 3, because they had no game for 2024, they had to make a whole arc in Paldea to boost more sales of Scarvy. And they put the Scarlet Universe because in Japan Violet sold more. And we basically have like a whole arc with no hero plot. We have expansion on the Exceed and on a Matthew's backstory, which is good. The thing is that the kids are basically having a training arc with other people when they could have that training arc with the people that they already know of. So it just feels it feels forced advertisement. In a way. So it's like the show is going on a great pacing, then it slows down, and then it basically stops. And then in Arc 4, here's Kitakami, here's Cleaver, try to fight Entei, it's not here, go to Area 0, here's Gouging Fire, wait, Rayquaza, right in the episode after, okay, let's go to Rakwa now. It feels like so rushed and so stressed, bro, because they get like a whole year with getting no hero Pokemon, and they basically get all of the remaining 3, the last half in 10 episodes. And now they're trying to do something different with the reunion arc, but it feels like they're padding for time. It's like we have great pacing, we slow down, we pause, we rush, and now we're padding. It feels like now with Season 5 with Mega Voltage, we are on a, like on DP filler territory, right? And I don't know, like, I'm not one of those fans who goes like, where is the series leading and going? I like the mystery, this is a mystery-driven show, but you can tell that something is not quite right. And this is because the show probably had at least 5 revisions before it aired, and at least 3 more as it was airing. Because you always have to go with odd numbers, right? And I feel like the Laqua plot, until episode 89, realistically, I feel like that plot could have been told in 65 episodes. I feel like that episode could have been told in 65 episodes. Because if you delete half of Arc 2, which is the Shining of Terrapagos, right? If you delete half of Arc 2, that's 10 episodes. So it totals in 79. If you trim down, like, what is it? If you delete like filler from Arc 5, no, from Arc 4, it kind of goes to 74. If you delete like 4 or 5 episodes, like 74, 75. And then, if you are to delete like 9 episodes from the Terrestrial Course, yeah, it feels like that. It feels like you either delete the Terrestrial Course, or you delete Arc 2 besides the Lapras shit because it feels very filler. It feels like they damaged the ship, the airship, just to put the kids in Paldea, to place them in the box. Because they needed training for Terrestrial. I get that they need training to be stronger to fight these Pokemon and the Explorers, but they had people that they already could have trained with. And now, the training of Terrestrial feels semi-irrelevant when you have Mega Evolution there. You know? It's also because like Horizon is such a great template because Scarvy as a game is a great template. You can basically do whatever. You could do whatever and whenever. This is why this is like an open world with, you know, time paradoxes floating around, right? Like, this is like a sandbox. Paldea feels more like a sandbox than a region. And then in Journeys, Galar was a background. We know more about Orange Islands and Decolor than we know about Galar, right? But I feel like, you know, the whole discussion of where is Horizons going, or what was the original plan and could this be cut in half? Honestly, let's be real here. You could delete half of the episodes of the Ash series and you wouldn't really have much, you know? I feel like, again, Pokemon always put themselves in a box with no need to, which was always having Ash present in every episode, and now they are in another box, which is having episodes weekly instead of being a seasonal anime. I don't know if that will change with Gen 10, but maybe with Gen 11, maybe with Gen 11 they will change that because it will be the 2030s. And if they do a seasonal anime, there could be more than one anime going. Imagine like an anime for Mondays, another for Wednesdays, and we still have, you know, the usual one for Fridays, right? We will get 3 animes going. Because other studios would most likely want to work in Pokemon and do their own Pokemon stories, as long as they're paid and they have the money to do it. It's because everyone wants to tell their story, right? And there's so many things going here. I really hope that Gen 10 only stays in the Gen 10 region. And low-key, I kinda want a gym challenge again. Like a proper travel. Because by that time, it would be 10, 11 years since it was done. I don't know, just a random thought. Just a random thought. Let's continuing on with, you know, the tweets. Yeah, we saw a lot of Galar Pokemon. Sango on top of Glalie. Indiana Jones. Yeah, the Cerise Labs should have been in Motostoke. I don't know what to tell you, man. We will make sure that Laqua, yeah, that, you know, stays safe. Again, with the episodes, yeah. Really enjoying Liko's approach of empathy. I kind of like, the thing is that Liko is put in the precarious position of she's a traveler and an adventurer, but I am very she's very tactful and very resourceful and very deceiving when it comes to fights, right? She's like Dragonite. She's kind of, she'll whoop your ass if needed, right? Like, the thing is, I feel like Liko could continue on being an adventurer. Like, if her grandma is Indiana Jones, I feel like Liko could be, you know, Lara Croft, you know, Tomb Raider, and Roy would be like Nathan Drake, and, you know, Dot would be like the girl behind the chair in Tech, right? The thing is, Liko still has the heart of a scholar, right? And my one fear is that what they will do with her, because I feel like in the end of Horizons we are going to see another time skip to see how the kids are doing as adults. But that's like in the very end, like an end of Dragon Ball Z kind of deal, right? Or maybe just in the cameos of the end credits. I don't know. Point of the matter is, I don't like the... Liko can be empathetic, but I don't feel like Liko is passive. Her way of battle and her way of approaching things, she's not passive. She's empathetic, but she's not passive. And I hope they don't make her a passive character because she's a girl. I don't want for her to be sidelined and softened down, and you know, when she was in the airship, like there were episodes where she was cleaning the airship and, you know, doing laundry, and there were stupid people calling her like a tread wife. And I'm like, but that's not who Liko is. She's a teenager. She doesn't know who she is yet. But putting her in this box of being passive just because she's a female, I feel, and because her Pokemon feel emotions, like, it just feels very disingenuous if that's the route that they are going for. I do like, that if anything, the fact that she connects with the heart of Pokemon on a very empathetic level, right? If anything, she could basically be a Pokemon connoisseur. And that trainer class would be amazing in ZA. Going back to the whole silent thing, right? I feel like Liko would be an amazing Pokemon connoisseur. She would still travel and adventure, right? But she would also have like that scholar thing going for her. Like Liko is pretty much like Chloe in this aspect. She could be anything. She could be an archaeologist, she could be a novelist, she could be a therapist. She could high-key be a Pokemon therapist, bro. But yeah, the empath with Ash, Silent, and Iris. Yeah. Roy having Pokemon that are bro. Yeah, Roy had a sound motif going. Is that the fourth move of Lucario? Is it Metal Sound? Is it Metal Sound? Is the fourth move of Lucario Metal Sound? Bro, you don't give Roy the Cricket Pokemon. And Liko could have had the Light Pokemon. Because Meowscarada does the flower tricks, and Athena and even Charcadet is fire, it's flames, it's light, and bro. Bro, what were they doing? Bro. Yeah, the magical team. Yeah, the magical team with Liko, that's cool. Oh yeah, because people were like, oh, it's in the winter, but it's in the summer, the DLCs, but traditional and lunar calendars aside, right? Yeah, I think this would be cool. Like, if Lei was to be like... If Lei was to start, he would get a shiny Litten, but he would not evolve it into Incineroar. I think he would stay as a Torracat. Like a white tiger looking Pokemon. And Ash would oversee his first try like Hala did for Ash. Like, not as a Kahuna, but passively. Granted, what Ash kinda does in the anime, if you go with game parallels, he does fit the bill of being a Kahuna right now. Being blessed by Tapus, right? And it would be cool if Lei was to, challenge the Raticate because Ash fought Gumshoes, right? And it would be cool for Raticate to, instead of giving the Normalium Z like how he does in the games, he still gives the Darkium Z like how he did in the anime for Team Rocket. And it would be cool for his Torracat to have a Dark Z Crystal without being a Dark-type Pokemon. That would actually be so amazing. Yeah, dude. Reggie has the game badges like Ash. And here's the thing. Did he battle Brock's dad, Misty's sister, and Giovanni himself, bro? Reggie is such an interesting character because Reggie is basically the guy who failed in life and he realized that. He realized that he failed in the path that he was pursuing and he went another route. And he became a breeder where he connects with Pokemon. Honestly, with Brock being a doctor, it would be cool if Ash then became a breeder. Like, he travels the world and now he's in Oak's lab. He's Oak's assistant, which kind of makes him the new Tracy. What we have here. Oh, it was Origins, yeah. It was Origins, and I was... Yeah, the Castle in the Sky thing. Yeah. The thing with Castle in the Sky is that, the villain and the hero are related by an ancestor, but here Liko and Amethyst are not related. They just have people that knew each other who are related to them, right? But not to each other. This is why Terapagos looked at, Amethyst and it's like, yeah, you remind me of someone. You remind me of someone. Gurumin shippers are winning. Charizard, yo, the biggest bro. What the hell is... Look, like, these are not Dragon Claws, they're Dragon Nails. These are Dragon Nails, bro. What was this? Oh, we were doing tier lists, yeah. Yo, monitor shipping. Please be a paradox. It was a paradox. Let's go. It was a paradox. Am I in October already? What the hell? Yeah, people don't like. Alright, that's too many characters. Again, going back to 65 episodes. That's the length of Full Metal Alchemist. And they also have too many characters. But they have a breathing world. You know? Honestly, if 65 episodes was like 5 quarters of 13 and it was just in Paldea because it's a circle like a Mistress, and then we would go to the other places. I would like to imagine an AU where... Okay, hear me out on this, right? Hear me out on this. Creative writing, right? Roy is from the Sevi Islands, right? And that's where regular Moltres is. But he finds... his grandfather finds Rayquaza's Pokeball in the Treasured Beach, right? From Island 1. Rayquaza overlaps types with Gouging Fire and with Moltres, right? Wouldn't it make a lot more sense if, and hear me out on this, right? If Moltres was the actual, hero, the first one of Lucius, and Rayquaza was not in the picture. Because what, besides being a future parallel to the White Zygarde, the dark sky and the white land, and Terrapagos, it's, the ocean, even though it's not dragon, but that's what it means, right? Because it feels like Rayquaza is only here because of Zygarde later on, right? So, I think that it would be cool if you were to remove Rayquaza from this equation totally. You remove Rayquaza from the equation, and Lucius would have Moltres as his Pokemon, right? Like, Lucius has Moltres as his Pokemon, right? And Gibeon, the Pokemon that Gibeon would have to parallel that, it would be Yveltal. Instead of Zygarde, it would be an Yveltal. Because Zygarde already had a role in the anime. Then you would get Yveltal now. And then, for ZA stuff, then you could get finally a Xerneas plot in the main series. Maybe it could be what Roy and Ult meet. They meet to help Xerneas and Emma is there. I don't know. Right? And here's the kicker. If these 65 episodes were just in Paldea, right before going worldwide, imagine that, the other hero Pokemon were actually from ancient times and not, 100 years ago, right? What if these other ancient Pokemon were the Ruinous Treasures? They're all part dark, like Galarian Moltres. And you basically have a 6th slot for a 6th mysterious Pokemon that could be anything. If we go with dark types, we have like dark for flying, ground, ice, grass, fire. Could be a Roaring Moon. The past paradox, that's the ace of the Scarlet Professor. It will be Dragon. And it kind of segues perfectly for the Mega Evolution stuff in Kalos, right? I don't know, it just feels like it could be that. And even, if you replace Rayquaza and imagine that, Freed didn't have Pikachu. He would have an Alolan Raichu, right? He would have an Alolan Raichu. You would have 12 of the 18 types. And then you would have the Terra types. So they would be the heroes. Like, one of the hero Pokemon, it would be Captain Pikachu. But it would be Alolan Raichu. But we wouldn't know. And he would still have Volt Tackle, so he could still use, like in the flashback, he would use Catastrophica Z move, and now he could use Stoke Spark Server, especially with champions having Z moves, right? And then it would be like Fairy for Raichu, it would be Fighting for Gouging Fire, Ground for Arboliva, Ghost for Moltres, Electric for Poison. Poison for Lapras, and Steel for Cleavor. Just a thought. Because it's very clear the hero Pokemon are echoing, the nobles and the totems. Not the totems, the titans, right? They're echoing those sets of 5. And I feel that, when you're writing a Pokemon story and with Gen 9 elements, you could, because they are just unique Pokemon, you can choose whatever Pokemon. You can even go beyond 6. You could even go beyond the limit of 6 if you really want to. Which is why Horizon's now doing them, you need 18. The thing is, are they going to use the mods that they have already on their teams and allies and even in the airship? Or do they need to find 12 Pokemon that are on the level of the 6 heroes? Are they going to have to find 12 Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, and that's how you rival legendaries with the Mega potential? Because it just feels like they're not getting Pokemon, it feels like they're getting weapons. And Horizons was already very Xenoblade coded, with, Terrapagos basically being the Aegis, and Laqua being Elysium, right? I don't know, just a thought. I just like, the creative story. Let us see. Me with Poké... Ash isn't oblivious to love, he simply has other priorities in mind. Yeah. It's like... Ash knows what love is, just like his priority. November? What? October? November? 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 December? This is a cool reference, but like... And the bar is already at the end. Pull the Kieran, lol. Steal Terrapagos. An adventure log. Wait a minute. Let me... Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Okay. Then I... Huh. I didn't... It's not even an hour. You know what it is? It's not that I wasn't even much online. It's that I was more focused on making videos and making tweets, which, fair. I mean, right? This is like the 7th episode, because there's like an episode 0 to this. I'm gonna put it here. You wanna know what it is? It's because, like, also, Horizons was at a good place. With Journeys, all of my tweets were just, being like a revolution. Like me going against the grain. But Horizons was so safe that I didn't have the need to, speak much on it. And then Arc 2 happened, and we still had Diana around. So even the filler vibes, they were not bad, but then Diana left and then we kind of go into bad territory because the Volteclers need money. It's crazy, bro. But yeah, this is like a short episode. I have to, and this is like the last one for, there's like, 2 for 2024, 1 for 2025. I wonder if the episodes are gonna stay shorter. Huh. Well, this was like half an episode in terms of length compared to everything else. I guess it goes to show that when a show is good, I don't need to, type about it that much when it comes to missed potential. I don't need to rant. I just need to vibe. And speaking of vibing, I hope you vibed well with this discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the support. Make sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of your love is appreciated very, very much. And I will see you the next time. KuroBlitz out. Talk to you guys later. Bye!